Classic Blues Licks with Mike Brookfield.
Hi, Mike Brookfield here. Welcome to Blues Show number 4. Okay, today we're going to be talking about hammering it home like Clapton. So if you've been following this series, you know it's all about very, very simple concepts. So taking one very concise idea or lick and squeezing as much juice out of it as possible. So today we're going to talk about how blues players end a phrase. They never end a phrase just playing the note once. Usually they emphasize the root. So da da da. So like when I was playing there in the key of C, we're gonna have a look at a lick which appears in Worried Life Blues, which is one of my favorite tunes that Clapton plays, and he's done it a lot throughout his career. We'll have a look at some footage in a minute, but the main kind of idea is that we're playing when we go to the root. When you end on the root, you don't just play it once, hammer it home. B.B. King does this, Freddie King does it, Clapton does it, Kenny Wayne Shepherd does it, Stevie Ray Vaughan does it. It's something that not a lot of people actually mention because it's so simple. So we're going to have a look at this in relation to Clapton and Worried Life Blues, and we're going to look at some other, an extended lick as well that he uses on this tune. Let's have a quick look at Clapton play Worried Life Blues over the years. So yeah, it's a really expressive vehicle for Clapton, that, isn't it? It works really well. It's a tune that I've heard a lot over the years, and I think it's something that's really helped sell Clapton to me as an artist and a guitar player. Helps me kind of identify with him. There's something about that tune that works really well, and he plays it brilliantly. And seeing him play it with B.B. King, and he did the version with B.B. King, and playing it with Buddy Guy. That's one gig I'd love to have been at. Seeing Clapton and Buddy Guy in Ronnie Scott's, that would have been a real killer of a gig, wouldn't it? I remember seeing that footage on the South Bank show. I think it's in the late 80s or something like that, and thinking, wow, that must have been an amazing gig, small, intimate gig. So, in Word Life Blues on the Just One Night album, at the end of the intro, he plays this phrase. One, two. So he comes in after the second beat. He does it on the turnaround. So there's a couple of things there that I'm really interested in. Is the reference to hammering it home like Clapton is really a lot of blues players playing the root and they go da da da. So he's going da da da, and it's like making a statement about, it really connects with that kind of expressive kind of blues thing where you're trying to make a statement, you're trying to be passionate about what you're trying to say with your instrument. So it's that hammering it home, hammering that root home. So whenever you're playing the root, it's okay to play it a bunch of times. It's one thing I talk about a lot with students, is don't be afraid to kind of repeat. Repetition is king, really, isn't it? Because it helps the listener, attach to ideas and that. So the first thing I do, take it round a bunch of keys. So here it is in C. We're going to do a little development lick after this, so hang around. This isn't it. F? No, A, isn't it? G. E. D. So it's really important to do that. You need to be able to find these licks in all your keys, straight away without thinking, and hammering home that root is really going to help you find these phrases in different keys as well. So like I've said before in all the past videos, I did it on the cage there, I did it on C, A, G, E and D, but you do it all the way around the cycle 5 in all keys: C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. And I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but there's a pattern to learning, and if you just follow these patterns, it'll really kind of stand to you. So let's have a look on if we go further into Word Life Blues, the Just One Night version, and we listen to what he does later in his solo. So that's really great, isn't it? I love the way he develops that idea. And this time he doesn't go to the root, he just stays on that major third. again, you play that around a bunch of keys and stuff, and then he does this idea. So So that's really nice if you hear it in context. So like, and again hammering home the root Clapton style at the end. So I'm going to play that a few times now just to kind of get your ears used to it. And it's very hard to kind of play these things exactly every time, so but I'll do my best. So here we go. Okay, why don't I try it in the key of A? And then the key of G. And the key of E. And then the key of D. Try that one again. And one last time back in the key of C. So things to take away from that are, you know, he's using what I call the BB King shape. You know, you've got your root here with your first finger, and you're using this chromatic phrase down here to the major third. Now, if you watch him play Word Life Blues, on the reference footage that I showed you at the beginning, he also uses that in a minor context, which is kind of related to that Otis Rush lesson last week, where Otis Rush likes to go. We discussed that, but you'll notice if you study those performances, you'll see Clapton do that a lot, where he'll play a chromatic passage. He'll play chromatically around there, and then he'll go into that sports car style shape. So. So he'll be playing very much in a minor expressive context as well. So he can switch between that major and minor. He can go, or he can go, which are like two different voices. They're like two different characters. One's major and sweet, and the other one is. It's got something different to say. You know, I always like to talk about that analogy of, you know, BB King always makes about two, you know, people in a relationship having a conversation. It's like one's begging for mercy and the other one's saying, no way, you know. So there's nothing wrong with using these kind of visualization techniques, I think, because it's all about storytelling, isn't it? And it's all about trying to communicate and connect with the audience. So there you go, lesson 4, hammering it home like Clapton. Make sure, you know, when you're playing the end of phrases, you know, it's okay to da 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 down, da down, da down, da down. It's okay to keep hammering that home. And then we've got that extra nice little bonus thing where he goes. I really like that lick. You know, but I'm a huge Clapton fan, probably like you as well. So, you know, it's all good, isn't it? So thanks for following this series. Please leave comments and we'll try and keep this going. And I'll see you next week. Keep it burning.
Classic Blues Licks with Mike Brookfield.